So, something significant happened the other day. So, I was on stream for a little bit because I wanted to play more of this game. And I finally hit credits. Oh, well, I hit credits again. But, like, I felt like I felt the need to explain my current, like, viewpoint on this game. Like, people know that this is, even though this isn't made by like main Nintendo, this is actively like one of my favorite Zelda games, and it is kind of a hot take, you know. But uh, like I went through all of Legend mode, and I then was like, well, that's not enough for me. I want more content. Then there's Adventure mode. Right now, this map right here, the adventure map, is 81% done. I almost have everything on this. I have barely done anything on any of the other maps, and I only just now unlocked the rewards map, which has this stuff. Live out the illustration's true partners. Yeah. I don't know, I might do that at some point. Oh, it doesn't even have a difficulty on it. But, like, I've done enough of this map format to kind of know what's going on. It's not... I'm not stupid enough to basically just go, well, every single map is going to play exactly the same, because, like, all I have to do is just look at stuff like the, Koholint map and, like, Grand Travels map, and I go, okay, something weird's going on in these, but, like... Like, even, like, looking at the Great Sea map, you start seeing, like, some weird stuff. But, like, the adventure map as a whole, it gives me a complete on. Because I've completed the criteria for finishing, quote-unquote, the map. Which was, I believe, what is classified. Let me just pull up. I'll just pull up my handy guide right here. That one is considered square F1, if we're going by chess rules. So, the way that this kind of starts out, you know, is that you are dropped in right here in the square like H8, and you only have like a limited number of like squares to, like, go through. And as you unlock more of the actual story mode, more of the map unfurls, which is why I didn't want to touch any of them. I didn't want to touch any of this until I was done with the story mode. But now that I really think about it, if I were to go back and redo everything with the way that I do this game, unironically, I would tell someone, no, don't worry about what you think. Yeah, don't worry about what you think is the correct thing to do. When you start the game at level 1, like, I'm talking about, like, when you start the game from map 1, once you complete this map, you should do as much of the adventure stuff as you can. Like, there has been, like, a lot of things that have really helped. Whether or not that's, like, going over here, or whether those have been fairies to, like, help out with, like, your abilities, whether that's like food for the fairies to like unlock and stuff. get like decorations for those fairies. Honestly, like all the fairy stuff is kind of funny, but like it's not really that useful outside the adventure map stuff. But like the other stuff that you got were yeah, the other stuff that you got on this were actually like really cool weapons, like the summoning gate for Lana and the spinner for uh the spinner for Link, the mace for Link, the ball and chain for Link was also pretty good. The power gauntlets, whatever. What was the actual square? Oh yeah, that was the Dominion Rod. Still not really up on the Dominion Rod. Don't really know how to feel about it. But like, the Trident for Ganon. There was all these like cool like little weapons for the main characters of the game. And I kind of like this. And it also added a few elemental things that you could do with it, because let's just like go into the first level right here. Like when we're talking about like Link, the main character, you know, it's like we have like these 5 elements, you know? We have fire, fire, water, and thunder. For actually no, it's fire, water, wind technically, and the fire also doubles up as earth, just like it is in the actual game. And then you have light, and then you have dark, you know. And when you have all of these weapons unlocked for Link specifically, it means that he can go into like any level he wants in the actual story mode, and he will have an answer for all the elements. Like for instance, when you were doing something like this, you know, where it's like you're playing a level that needs a wind aligned weapon, but the character that is recommended to you is Link. Go, okay. And then you look over to the side and you go, oh, okay, so it's actually Zelda and Lana that is recommended. And then on a hard mode, Fi is recommended instead. And I'm just sitting here going like, okay, so what would I do? And a lot of people just go, well, the 2 characters you should select are the characters that are for both of the hearts. And then don't worry about the hard mode character, that's for other stuff. And I can kind of see the reasoning on that. And then any level that actively wants you to play as Link is going to give you the little like sun symbol for light. But when you are running around and doing stuff and you come across, I don't know, like hey, here's a water map. Hey, here's a map for like thunder. Here's a map for fire. It's like you need to have some sort of thing for Link to be okay with to go through on the story mode. And since you're basically using it for like most of it, it's actually kind of useful, but luckily anyone that they actually want you to play as him, they would do set to light. So it's not really that useful. See where I'm kind of going with this? Where the adventure map is both useful, but not needed. Like, even in my playthrough, I was going through the story mode, like, just fine. Wasn't really having, like, too many problems. And then you, like, go into the badges, and you have stuff like this, where it's like, okay, so we get, like, damage down levels 1, 2, and 3 in the badges for each of the aligned levels. And it is kind of funny how this basically implies, like, oh, so why would you use Link at any time but light, since the Master Sword is light aligned? You really wouldn't use anything else. But then you think about, like, the other characters as well. Like, I did this for Agatha specifically, where it's like, oh, why would I put it into any of the other ones first except for light, since anything that is going to recommend her is going to be something in which I need to use her as a light-aligned character on that light-aligned space. But at the same time, it's one of those, like, weird little pieces of variety that I feel like really helps kind of sell what we're doing here. Because it's not actually about, you know, it's not necessarily about, like, hey, this is the needed character for the role. It is the wanted character for the role. And to be fair, the spinner and the horse over on the right side of this, like, layout is there because they're, like, amiibo weapons. Like, normally you wouldn't have gotten those unless you actually had a specific amiibo to, like, place down to get, like, the special weapons. And the Master Sword by itself was like the end game version of the Hylian sword anyway. So it was like the only level 4 weapon for Link. But that's also something that's really fascinating. The one thing that I haven't run into yet in all of Adventure Mode is extra weapons. And then I look even on, like, the Great Sea map, and the first thing I see, level 2 Vulgar weapon. I was like, oh? Level 2 Tingle weapon. Level 2, like, Skull Kid weapon. I'm like, oh, so this is where they are. Okay. So, yeah, I got, like, the Wind Waker for Zelda on this one specifically. And then I was really thinking about going, like, oh, okay. So here are the weapon upgrades. And if I did the Great Sea map instead of to unlock everything for the Zelda characters instead of doing the story mode, the second I saw it, like, that would be something else. And it really makes me wonder, like, how much of each map should I have been doing at any one time to boost my characters, even if just by a little bit. Like, the fairy abilities, kind of okay. You know, it's like they're kind of okay. The Skulltulas, not really needed, but kind of cool. But every single one of these map squares have, like, one full heart and one, like, quarter heart sometimes for random different characters. And then you go, like, okay, so let's just say this one. I go into this relatively easy level and I select Sheik. I then 100% it as Sheik, and I get a full piece of heart but if I also pick Toon Link, I can get a quarter heart. And that's kind of neat. And that basically stands for every single one of these map tile pieces. Is that they give you something every single time you touch one of these. And they end up being relatively useful. Like almost every single one of them. And the only thing I haven't encountered yet that I do see on some maps, like this one, for instance, is that you could get you could get costumes as well. And I'm like, huh. The other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is the fairy. And I feel like that they're going in a direction. And I'm relatively fine with the direction that it is. I just don't like it. So the way that this works, let me just pull this back up, is you will have this fairy that you can get up to different levels. Currently my light aligned one, because this is the one I use the most because of Link, is level 55 because they keep feeding it food. I'm gonna equip this fire one that's level 23 right now because it's the one that's aligned with the element. But it really does feel like that you want to equip the fairy that is of the element for either the character or the stage. And I don't think you would want to do anything else, because usually it has something like Quake, decreases speed of foes who enter the magic barrier, or like Ether, which is like increases the defense of allies. Like these are all like elemental based stuff. Replenishes the HP of allies who enter the magic barrier. Like this is kind of like cool stuff. I just wish that they were more like elementally aligned 100% of the time. And I do hope that there is going to be some way to reset it. To reset those abilities at least, so that they're more actually like elementally aligned to the fairy. And I'm just like sitting here thinking like, oh okay, and then you like go to the school and you have all these like abilities, and then you realize, oh, none of the ones that are on the other fairies are currently unlocked. Like Heart Ponds is right there, but I know for a fact that like a bunch of the other, that some of the other fairies have other abilities, including an actually like rare one that I got somehow. And I'm just like sitting here thinking about what is like, what is kind of the point of this? Because if I were to like, because honestly I kind of wish that this would be filled out by every single one of your fairies. If one of your fairies get an ability, the other one would also get the chance to acquire the ability. Like for instance, this Phil special attack is actually pretty cool. I kind of like it. I kind of wish that I could go over here to this empty skill and assign that empty skill to my fairy, because I feel like that I would like utilize that more. But no, I have to basically like wait until it reaches max level and then prestige it so that it can keep all of its stats that are in the corner, so that it can then like go and like re-roll on the skills over on the left and the skills that are over on the right. And I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of a weird setup to just extend the timeout. And I honestly believe that that is the only reason why it's there. is they don't give you a way to just like micromanage it to I forgot that my microphone turns off when there's no like audio playing. But yeah, it's like I was sitting here really thinking about it, and I think I'm mostly disappointed with the fairy. I kind of like the fairy outfits; they're kind of cute, but like I don't think they did it well. Like, eh, now let's actually get into the adventure like stage levels themselves. Like, it's always kind of neat because you go in, you see one of the maps from the previous one, and you are then given a simple task. The simple task is just it's like just play it the way that you would normally play it. But make sure that you like do all like the extra skill stuff. Sorry, the extra like challenge stuff. Hey, Link, I'm gonna need you to... Like, these maps eventually become a little bit more formulaic. And it's just the character that you're using that is the thing that really dictates it. And at the end of the day, I feel like the format does get a little bit formulaic. There's also the version of them that's like, and I think the one that's the most egregious is the quizzes, because it's not really a quiz, it's a single enemy challenge. So they have two enemies in a pit, and I encountered this earlier today actually, where yeah, I encountered this problem earlier today where they you see the guy who's the outpost captain right here, and you see how quickly I was able to take that guy out. That guy with that amount of health was standing right next to Ganondorf. You know, like like character that has like an actual like health bar. And they said, okay, now to do this quiz properly, you've got to take out Ganondorf first. And I just kind of like groaned when I realized what was going on. Because what they were actually telling me wasn't, do you know which character you're supposed to fight? That's not what they were asking. What they're asking me is to avoid hitting the other enemy at all costs. And sometimes it works out, But in this case, it just really annoyed me. Because it wasn't really a challenge at that point. It was a... Yeah, it wasn't a challenge of knowledge. It was a challenge of patience, because I was basically doing like 1 or 2 tiny hits on Ganondorf and then running away from them so that the wider reaching attacks that I believe I had to play as Zant in that, like, on that map for the A rank, like, reward. Yeah, it was Zant. Because because most of his moveset is like wide range, like slashing attacks. So you had to do those while avoiding one of these like very like low health enemies, while also making sure that you're doing enough damage on Ganondorf to get within a good time margin. And it just became kind of annoying. I don't use the Fire Rod enough. It's pretty good. Especially now that it's like fully like leveled up with all of its moveset. Okay. Link, I'm going to send you... Oh wait, no. But yeah, as I said on stream the other day, Lana's Summoning Gate and Link's Spinner are some of the most fun and interesting character like movesets in this game, and I really like playing as them. Like, it's mostly just because I like summoner type characters, but like, man. Bird. Like, this is great. I love it. Lana, I need you to go into this base and start, like, doing stuff. My gosh, I've got like one eye closed this whole time because it just hurts to stare at like things right now. But yeah, I'm not saying that this game is, you know, like I was trying to explain this game's format to a coworker, and I kind of like talked myself into the position that this game is needlessly long as a joke. And most people basically just go, don't, when they ask, like, should you 100% this game? Like, I feel like that if you are that type of, like, I need to 100% complete every game I touch, like me, you don't have to do it for this game as much. And in some ways, that is kind of relieving to know that you don't have to do stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I'm still racing against the clock to make sure I get this in the right amount of time. Okay, command link. Gonna and then just have you like run back over there. Oh, those are my guys. Whoops. Like, this type of level format is the one that's most like, you know, traditional Muso levels of gameplay. It's fine, not because it's like good, but it's fine because it's standard. Me looking at the time? Yeah, I've got time. Attack Wizrow. Okay, it was a good thing I did that. Yeah, I totally have enough time. See, like, I was able to, like, 100% clear this map pretty effectively, and I think it's mostly because I had a character like Link, who is so overpowered compared to the other characters I have. Just making sure. Yeah. Very simple game format, still to this day. Still pretty great. Adventure map, pretty great. I like it. I feel like the adventure map as a whole might actually be like my favorite aspect of this whole game. Because it forces you to play as every character. And while that is kind of annoying to an extent at times, forcing you to play as every character and forcing you to play against every character at least once gives you so many materials to work with. And I totally see the vision. Alright, okay. So it's not the yellow shirts that give you costumes, the white shirts that do that. Okay. Yeah, it's like the other kind of interesting thing, you know, is I actually need to unlock this one to like show it off, but like when you are running around and you get all these cool items, you could then go like, oh, okay, so I use this item on this tile piece to do stuff. Let me just demonstrate it like this. You know, it's like, and then that way you could unlock like new stuff and new awards. I do kind of like that. It's kind of neat. And I feel like that format is going to be expanded upon in later ones because I could see in stuff like the Termina map, which is like, oh, you have a 3-day limit on top of doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay. It's like, fair enough. But I feel like that this is where doing stuff with your character is gonna be needed a lot when it comes to like map domination and what you actually need to actually do to like take in mechanics. I feel like the map-based mechanics I haven't actually encountered yet because I feel like they only started doing that with the with the update that added in the Wind Waker characters. I feel like that it wasn't really around. I did it again. Okay, so right now, like, it is actually kind of funny to think about, like, how far into the game I actually am, and then go, man, I am, like, 10% of the way done, and that's kind of funny. Like, I firmly believe that I'm, like, 400, 500 hours into this game, and I am only just now reaching what is considered, like, the end game of content. Like, I haven't even gone into adventure mode, and let alone do stuff in hero difficulty. I haven't even gone through all of these levels on hard difficulty and gotten all the Skulltulas. I haven't even done that. And I need to do that at some point to 100% the game. But man, does this game, like, try my patience a little bit. Because it is very funny that this game effectively works on the premise that you will be... that you're in this for the long haul, and that you're gonna be doing this for, like, ever. Man, really showed me. Really took me forever to 100% this game. But anyway, I will see all y'all another time. Maybe when I'm a little bit more awake and I can actually put out, like, real content. Like, see all y'all later. Goodbye.